Hi Virgo, this is going to be your art channeled message. I channel messages through art, creativity. I really hope my messages inspire you to see the art within yourself, within your journey, within everything around you, because we all start from zero, which is just a blank canvas. Just look at everything around you as art, including yourself. I'm trying to introduce something new here, something fresh, something creative. So if you're new here, welcome. And if you're a reoccurring person, welcome back. If you like a personal, all of that is down below. And lastly, what's so special about my messages and my art is it's always like one big optical illusion. It's kind of like my hand is guiding me. It's the same way with my messages. It's like, what am I trying to say without actually saying it? I read in a very different way, which is sort of like an art form full of metaphors, like mysterious language sometimes. Sometimes it's not even so structured, like that's what that card means. That's what everyone says the card means. No. And sometimes it even like follows up with the art I said in the imagery, which is really creepy. So, yeah. What I started drawing for you, Virgo, is what first looked like a bonfire, then a star due to the crisscrossed wood appearance like this. It just ended up looking like that. But then my drawing actually started to resemble wiring or Christmas lights being wrapped around an object, like the star that goes on top or around the tree. It's this very tangly vibe. Yo, I literally just saw the scene from National Lampoon Christmas Vacation, where he was trying to show, emphasis on show, everyone the lights on the house. But they literally wouldn't work until no one was around to see it. It's like, hey, I wanted people to be here for this. This is my big moment. This is my time to shine. And they were all getting sick of waiting because they wanted to go to bed. And then finally when they got it, and he's like, hey guys, come here. They didn't see it. They came back and it was off again. Or like the power went out, a fuse broke, I don't know. But you get the idea. The art theme here also gives me the vibe of those people in movies and in real life that would be like, hey mom, hey so-and-so, you're gonna make it to my recital, right? You're gonna make it to my big day, right? And they're usually the ones that are like kind of like, make sure you're there. Make sure I see you there. I want you to see me perform or do this talent, right? I want you to see me do great, see, and acknowledge that. This is very deep already because a lot of times people, and I think you right now, Virgo, develop this belief that something you do isn't valid or important unless people see it, believe in it, or tell you you're doing a good job. I'm also getting the vibe of, you know how people say like, you know you're a good person when you do a good deed off camera? It's like the same thing applies to like maybe what you're good at or what you want to be acknowledged for. It's like you're still doing the damn thing, but you don't need that validation. I think that's a big part of this too. But it doesn't mean you're wrong for like wanting that. It's like, look at this. That's fine. I'm literally getting to the scenario of how kids will be like, hey, watch this with excitement, and it's nothing you haven't seen already, or it's very stupid, maybe, to most adults that are desensitized to it, where they've grown up. They no longer have that childlike spirit within them. But to the child, it's like they're discovering it for the first time. It's like they're starting from a blank canvas or maybe like a white aura. I always say like babies have white auras. To them, from that point forward, everything is new. Everything you've already been through or maybe know about already, that's like their first time discovering it. So as stupid as it is, listen to them. Watch them do that little flip. Watch them do that little cartwheel that you've seen 100 times. But you never want to like invalidate that or act like you don't care. Be one of those iPad parents. Maybe that's a message here as well. Like if you're a parent, I'm saying be attentive. I feel like this is a reflection of not only you, but what you need to do if you ever have a child Or maybe if you see a child that's not getting that attention, give them that attention. Be that light in their life. Make them feel like a superstar. It's not here about kids, or it's like being a kid. There's also this element here, Virgo, of you being super excited about something, but that energy just isn't matched. So you're like, oh, okay. I guess this isn't important. I guess, ooh. This reminds me as well of how a lot of people think their hobbies, doesn't just have to be a hobby, or anything isn't validated or important unless you can monetize it. It's like you can't just do it because you want to do it. It's like someone has to approve. This has to fit into your lifestyle. It's like, no, that's not how it works. So there's a lot coming out here, but I really hope the premise of this art channeled message already makes a lot of sense. It's like, watch me do a flip. Everyone get ready for this finale. It's like as soon as you get to that moment, it's like when people should be there, maybe they're not. Maybe that's what this is about, Virgo. You're about to have a big moment or reach some kind of milestone, and no one's going to be there cheering you on, or it's like they're just in the nick of time, they're going to miss it. I don't know what that's about. That could mean many things. Maybe too, this is like a boy cried wolf scenario when it comes to success. It's like, hey guys, I'm gonna do this, and it's like, oh, that's not realistic. But then when you finally get it, everyone's so used to hearing that, like hearing your dreams, hearing this, hearing your goals, that they're not actually present. Does that make sense? It's like, oh yeah, we've heard this so many times. I've seen that kid do a flip so many times, but it's like, they're discovering themselves, so be a little compassionate. Just let them have their moment. Don't know what this is really deep, actually. I noticed, like, I put the camera up a little more because I like seeing this part a little more, so I'm just gonna hold the card up. Let's see. King of Wands. The King of Wands, to me, has always been about, like, the King of Wands is the type of person that would, like, check someone out or skim at them, like, when they walk by. Like, they're definitely all about, like, attraction and physical, like, appearance. It's, like, very pleasing to the human eye. I'm literally hearing, too, it's like, oh, that... hey, look over here, look at this. And then like this person looks interested. Like even if you've seen it so many times, still look. I'm seeing that applies to you. That's how you need to treat other people. That's also what you need to sort of give yourself in a weird way. It's like still validate it if you're not being validated. Do it. Dance like no one's watching, but in like a reverse way. Dance like no one's watching. Love like no one's watching. Be a nice person even when no one's watching. Just keep doing you. So I literally just heard don't look back, and then we have the Seven of Swords. Page of Swords. This is very interesting. To me, this is someone that's really invested, like really invested into what they're consuming, whether it's maybe a show, a book. But it's like they're listening very, very closely, but then this person is just sort of like looking over. There's this emphasis on investment, making sure you're invested. It's like people can look like when they're forced to, like, but you can tell when people aren't really interested in what you're saying, and that really hurts. So I feel like I'm sort of tapping into you right now. Like there's invested, I'm interested, I actually care. It's like woohoo, I'm cheering you on. And then there's this, where it's like just a superficial glance. I'm gonna get an oracle card. Finish up this reading. I don't know how long it's gonna be. Because, like, it depends on how long the channel message is. Let's see. Literally seeing two facial expressions in my head to depict, like, the Page of Swords versus the King of Wands. So the Page of Swords is like, I'm literally seeing someone, like, squint, like look deeply into your eyes. Like, oh, really? That's really cool. And then the King of Wands is like, okay. So advice. Meaning as well, something here about, like, stop waiting for people to see you. Stop waiting for people to look. Stop, like, yearning for that. Because I noticed, like, I even see this with other people, the more you yearn for attention or you're desperate for it, the more it sort of, like, goes away. So it's like, literally keep doing things as if no one's watching, because then they're gonna want to watch. It's kind of like when you don't want to be seen, everyone wants to look, everyone wants to be in your business. Or they only want to be nosy when they know they can't get a hold of the information. When it's already there in front of them, when they see it so many times, like with kids, like that, people often think that's annoying, but like you don't want to do that to a kid, because you already instilled that in them from a very young age. Like, oh, I'm being annoying. No one cares about what I'm doing, so maybe I should just not care. And that's unfortunately the reality for a lot of people, actually. Maybe that's actually your reality, Virgo. So we have the Hermit. And then there's this deep light, kind of like a star. It's like he's hiding it over his coat. Reminds me too of how some people dress down or like sort of shrink themselves, even by like going into hermit mode. Oh, it's like behind closed doors, like no one's watching. It's like this flame can only be seen, like you feel like you only do your greatest work when you're not performing. I'm even getting this concept too of, you know, some people get stage fright. They can never do the thing once it's ready to perform. They always mess up, or nerves get in the way, and they're like, come on, like I did this 2 days ago in my bedroom, or I did this 2 days ago with someone else. Why can't I do it now? It makes it look like I can't do it now. It's like I cried wolf from a performance standpoint. So I'm seeing this too. It's like you're gonna get your moment to like prove it, but don't get so caught up in the moment, or get so caught up in going, look at me, acknowledge me, or else it's not valid. No. It's still there. It's just like everyone wants to be seen. Great. But don't hurt yourself like that. Seek solitude to focus intently on inner life. Serves personal creativity. Personal to oneself. This is really sad too, because like the Hermit literally has this like, looks like shame. Like, oh, no one cares what I have to say. No one's here to see it. It's almost, oh my God. It's like how people too can get caught up in creating content. It's like that's in the forefront of their mind, performing for other people, when actually, it's like me, for example, I don't create for YouTube. I create to create, and I happen to post on here. So there's really no pressure. I'm here because I want to be. There's a need for you to realize that. I really hope this is all making sense. I'm gonna get a Bob Ross card to finish this message. We have, did you ever think you could just take a great big old brush and make all these beautiful little trees? You really can. There's that thing. It's like, that sounds like permission at the end. You really can do that. Go ahead. Do it. It's like you need to give yourself permission instead of waiting for permission. And that permission is usually that like that nod. So, oh, you're doing so well. It's like, what if you don't need someone to tell you you're doing well? It's like, what if you already knew you're the shit? What if you knew you already had that flame, that light, that stuff wrapped around you. It's like, so what if they're not there for your milestones or biggest moments? You are. A. To me, A symbolizes ace. Like, every end has a beginning. It's like something will be very beautiful. Okay, Virgo. That's the end of this art channeled message. I really can't believe like everything is coming out in these cards. Like, this person's alone behind closed doors. Dance like no one's watching. Okay, guys. Please like, subscribe, support the channel in any way you can. I'd really, really, really appreciate it. And remember, it's like, what do you see? What do you think I'm trying to say without actually saying it? Because a lot of my messages can be very like indirect or not so structured because it's literally an art form. It starts with what I channel or draw, but it's like, what are you seeing in your head? How do you depict this? How do you correlate these all together? Okay, guys. Bye.